Hello, welcome back to Blender CC LiveNoding. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I created this setup. You can see there's this cone that's running through some kind of path, and it's going through this ring. And if I make changes to the path, everything will update accordingly. So these animations will loop, and I think it's pretty neat. So the nodes here looks complicated, but it's don't worry, I'm gonna start from scratch. This is something that I borrow from rwny. So rwny. I just call him or call her rwny. And this is the setup. So it's pretty simple. So this is the snapshot. Oh, my computer is very slow. So the snapshot is looking something like this with the nodes that's doing the job is this cubic spline and curve frame, while here I think we have some kind of offset based on the number and frame info. So this guy is looping. Alright, so let's try doing that. Shouldn't be too hard. So let's open up SquareChalk. Sorry, my computer is a bit slow today. It's doing something in the background. Start with a random vector and make a bunch of points. And we want to use this point with cubic spline. And also we create a curve frame. And this is all basically what we need to get started. So a bunch of random points here with connected to cubic spline will become a curve of some sort. So okay, so it's become a path. We're gonna save this first. Path loop. And then this curve objects now something that we can animate. If we use viewer draw, and if I plug in the matrix here, you can see there's something. And then I use cone or cylinder, like this there. So we should have this cylinder to animate a long path. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Would be nice for what we are doing to be able to see the actual path. So I'm gonna use evaluate curve. Plug this curve here, how many samples you want, and create a viewer draw. Plug this there. Okay, so we have the path now. Give it different color. Alright, so the way we animate it, you can already tell, is using this T value. The T value can go really far, actually escape between 0 and 1, but you want to keep it between 0 and 1. And apparently you can have multiple of the T value. That's what rwny is showing here. So frame info using the evaluate, this is the total frame numbers. Evaluate will go between 0 and 1, and then you multiply it with the number to get the speed, and then you plug in an offset. So let's say we change this to 50 frame. If I'm using frame info, evaluate will always go from 0 to 1. So this is our character animating from 0 to 1. Okay, so that's the basic idea. This guy is probably a little bit long. Cut it in half and make it turn it into a cone. Okay, it's going in reverse. Okay, So now it's looking a bit correct. Okay, cool. Object along random path. It's done, right? But we have to do more. We can do more. Math, add, offset, range, number. And plug this in. So I think what rwny did is using multiplier and number range. Okay, count. Okay, let's try this first. 5. Start and stop between 0 and 1. Okay. So we have 5 matrix coming in to this guy. And supposedly each one of them is being offset, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe I did something wrong. So this is the value that's coming out. Alright, so apparently we go too far. So if we have the multiplier, okay, the multiplier here, 0.1. Hopefully we can get a better result. Okay, I know why. Maybe it's a it needs to be negative. I have a feeling it's not updating properly. So we have 5 different objects. Each one of them should be in a different place. That's weird. Could be a bug, but I'm gonna show you the one that's already working. So with the one I had before with all the rings, so the rings is actually coming. Now that you know, you just need to use the cubic spline and the curve frame, and then this multiple value coming in. So it's the same thing. I don't know why it didn't work. So this setup is slightly elaborate with, we can control the number here, the number of objects that's traveling. And then we divide 1 divided by the total number, and then multiply this with frame info. And then we add the offset right here, join together with this guy, and we have multiple matrix, and then we have an output. So this is how it's supposed to work. And then with the ring here, I'm using evaluate curve and resample it how many times as we like. Okay, so that's basically just a torus. and the torus is being instanced. So if I get rid some of the nodes that I don't need, it should be simpler. There you go. It's almost under 10 nodes, and I think this is pretty cool setup. You can reuse it however you like. It's weird that the other one doesn't work. It should work. So we have a cone traveling, but if you want to replace the cone with anything, so instead of cylinder, oops, let's use the monkey head, plugs into the mesh viewer. Now the monkey head is traveling on the path, and it's pretty stable. And also, okay, you can scale the monkey head and you can rotate it. So currently the orientation is not correct, so just use rotate over here. Minus 90 in the x-axis. I think that should do the job. So now we have monkey head traveling the donut. So we shouldn't see the pop, but if you see the pop, you might need to just adjust this thing slightly. I don't know, maybe keep it 0, 0 and 1, and it shouldn't pop. It should feels like it's looping. Okay, so there you go, monkey head traveling, and then once it hits the last one, the last frame, it's gonna loop. You probably need to delete the last frame from here, and if you want to bake it, just select everything and then F3 bake action. This should do the job. Okay. So that's pretty much it. It's quick notes. Thanks to rwny for this example. It's really simple, but it's really useful as well. You can use the evaluate of the frame info with cubic spline and cubic curve frame to get the objects to travel along paths. All right. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.